LongHaul Larry, we're working on 794. I got a little question for you guys. Fix something right or just kind of rig it up? Well, I had a discussion about this truck a while ago, and the AC wasn't working, and I found out to be the condenser. And the boss was all like, "Oh, that condenser was just put in there a couple weeks ago." So, well, the condenser's shot. It's got a big hole rubbed into it. And the driver brought the old condenser back. I don't really know why, but he brought the old condenser back from the shop that fixed it. And right here it is. You can see it up on the top corner up here. It's all rubbed through. And they took it to a shop, and the shop said, "Oh yeah, we could fix that. Let's put a new condenser in." So they put a new condenser in there, and the guy drove it for about a week and a half, and he lost all of his AC again. Came in here, I tested it. It was condenser rubbed the exact same spot. And I told the boss, and I showed him. I said, "Well, it's rubbing up on the hood." I said, "There's something wrong here. Something's loose. Something's not mounted right." The other condenser's over there. I'm not even gonna walk down there. But so we got the other condenser. So he ordered another condenser, and I looked at it, and what was wrong was the air cooler was broken. The mount for the air cooler was broken. And I can show you guys this. It's right here. See, the air cooler mounts on the front of the radiator like this. And there's a bolt here, there's one over here, there's nuts welded on the back side of this. This is the frame of the radiator. And this is steel here and everything. And this part is broken. And I wasn't going to be able to get to it. I was working on 792, trying to finish that up. So he had this other mechanic guy come in. It's a mobile mechanic guy. I'm not sure what he was paying him, $60, $80 an hour, something like that. And he came in here, and the boss told him that he needed a new condenser. Well, the guy was here for about 15 minutes, and us and I saw him grabbing the condenser and walking out with it. And I was like, duh. It wasn't really my business, but I was like, "Dude, are you mounting that condenser already?" "Well, yeah, it's only 4 bolts. And I'm like, "You know something's broke, right?" And he's like, "No." So I came out here, and I looked at it. Well, the whole air cooler was sitting out here like this, on this side, and it was tight on the other. So it was out about way far, and what that was doing was it was hitting on the hood over here. And so as the driver going down the road, the hood would move around and stuff, and it was just wearing right into that aluminum condenser that mounts on the front of there. I showed it to him and everything else, and he's sitting there looking at it, and he goes, "Well, he ain't gonna pay me all this to fix all this up." And I'm like, "Dude, we got metal and everything else. You can, make this work." And no, he ain't gonna pay me. He sat there looking at it, and he goes, "Well, I think what I'll do is the turbo here." Whoops, bubble stuff. This is the pipe that comes off the turbo, and it has that rubber hose on it, and that mounts onto the air cooler, and it mounts on, and that goes into there, goes into the air cooler. He cut that rubber hose, pulled the air cooler back tight where it's supposed to be, put the rubber hose on there, and put a new clamp. That'll fix it. I said, "No, it won't." And I just walked away. I was like, I'm not getting in this. And then a boss came, and he's out there talking to the boss, and I could hear him out to bragging how he came up with this really clever idea to fix this and everything. And I was talking to the boss later, and I'm like, "I'm telling you right now, that ain't going to work." Well, he seems to think, well, no, it won't work. So the question is, do you fix it right, or you just, rig it up? Because on the list of items of this truck, AC doesn't work again. So I hooked up the machine. Boom, you could hear it leaking. Guess what? Right behind that chair, there's another condenser. And it's leaking in the same exact spot. So what we're going to do is we're going to fix it right. I bet you I can do this in a half an hour, 45 minutes. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just cut this piece of metal out. Sorry, I've been moving around so much. I'm just going to cut this metal right here. Cut this out of here. Take a new piece of metal and cut it to put inside there. And then I got metric nuts and everything for these bolts here. And I'm going to measure from that side the distance up and down, and then this side and everything. And weld a nut on the back side of the piece of metal. Put it up in there. Grab the welder. Pull it over here. And put a nice weld. Weld all this back up. And then you'll have an actual mount for the air cooler. So we're going to fix it up right. Alright guys, we got her all put in there. Got the one welded in there. It's not my best welding job ever, but it's strong. It's good and welded. I had to grind her down a little bit to make sure that the thing is going to fit nice and flat against it. And yes, boss man, I have it painted. He always laughs at me when I paint stuff. It's like, no, yeah, paint it. So we got her all in there. Everything's all taken care of. I ran a tap through this one, through the bottom. I ran a tap through all the holes. Now I'm going to mount it up. If you're wondering what happened to the end of that video, that happened. I had the camera sitting right there, and I guess my cord or something bumped it. Also, I heard plooch. I looked down and my camera was floating. So if anyone wants a slightly used non-waterproof camera that fell into a bucket of antifreeze, I'll cut you a deal. These are $300 cameras. I had to run out and grab another one. I grabbed another one. I had two of them in my truck in my bag, and I grabbed another one, brought it in here. And it was the one that I used when I welded over there. And people asked me if I put a welding lens on the front of the camera. I didn't, and it burned into the lens. If you watch the end of that video where I was welding for the hood stuff, you could see like black spots all over the screen. That's from the sparks hitting the lens and burned into the lens. So that camera's junk too. So I happened to find one more camera. So now I'm just going to be mounting up the air cooler and stick that on and put the condenser on and hook up our lines, and I'm going to charge the system. Well, there we go guys. I am adding refrigerant into the system. Everything is all mounted up and everything. I have vacuumed the system for 45 minutes, added my peg oil back into it, and we're putting refrigerant back into it. I won't be able to start it and check all this stuff, but it should be charged. Hopefully everything is good, because I don't think there's anybody else that knows how to do this AC here. But so you can see we are mounted up here now. This is rock solid. We got our bolt in here, which we did not have before. That is all secure and everything. The bolt on the bottom was missing and stuff. I still have to put the grill on here, but that's nothing. Just a couple bolts and some double-sided tape. But you can see this thing is sitting rock solid. The other ones too, they were basically just all smooshed out here, and that's because this whole thing, this air cooler here, wasn't mounted on here. And the one guy thought, well, the rubber hose that hooks onto over here, he's going to shorten it and pull it back, and that'll hold it. Well, rubber hose isn't going to hold this. You can't cheap out. You can't just rig it up like this. You got to fix it right. I mean, 3 condensers now, you know. So we just got done charging. And so now it is on there. It is exactly the way it's supposed to be. It is all straight and square. And so now I just got to mount the grill back on here. I got to peel off, see there's double-sided tape that holds it on here. And mount this grill back up on here and put the screws back in. And I'm actually out of here, guys. I got to get to pick up my load. There is this other mechanic guy, I guess the guy that broke all the bolts off or whatever. He's actually has time today. He was planning on coming here and doing this and stuff. But I got it within an hour or two. All you gotta do is just bolt the turbo up and stuff. But we do not have the studs that mounts up to that pipe. There's studs that goes into the new turbo. I didn't realize this till almost 2 o'clock last night. And they didn't have some studs for mounting it onto the exhaust either. the manifolds. I had to go get the studs, and I just bought a couple different ones. Well, it turns out one of the ones I bought actually is the right one that fits in there. So I was able to send him the number. He's going to run over to Freightliner, pick up 5 more. He's going to come over here, mount that up, and he'll just be able to put it up in there. Put your 4 bolts on there, your 6 nuts on around there, and a couple of hoses, a couple bolts here and there. Put all the different attachments of hoses up to it, and she is ready to go. So we can close this off. I was able to, last time I was charging AC stuff when I was here, I was able to talk to boss because the fitting right here leaked. So it's hard to do vacuums and stuff because it leaked there a little bit. So when I did vacuums, it's kind of like, it seems like it's on, but you could hear it hissing around there. But he bought new ones. He got new ones. So I changed those out. The old ones are sitting over there. But so now the AC system should be good to go. So we can shut all this down. And I'm just basically just cleaning up my mess. And I'm out of here, guys. I hope everyone out there is having themselves a great day, great night as they are watching this here video. And if you're not, certainly could try that all over again tomorrow. Fix it right the first time. I mean, what is this? Probably about $700–800 worth of condensers. Just because the guys, I think my little shortening up the hose is gonna work. That ain't gonna work. So, still right the first time. Catch you later. Bye.